Shalom, shalom, Yasharal. I pray you are well. Um, so let's uh, kick this veil in the ass and punch it in the mouth just a little bit more, shall we? And hopefully that by us continuing to kick at it, jab at it, we can bring it down for those who still are unable to see that everything we are fed on these screens is bullshit. Do you know what the TV shows you? The mainstream media shows you? Do you know what that is? You know what you can call the content that they bring you? You can label that as what they want you to see, right? This guy, I don't know who this guy is. I just happened to see this article and you know, the reason that they put stuff like this up, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I read it. The reason they put stuff like this up, it must be so they can just laugh their ass off, these billionaires who are a part of what's going on, the ones that are creating what you are witnessing, right? It says late Australian spin legend Shane Warne had said that he was put on a ventilator briefly when he was battling the cobra last year. And when they put him on it, if you see here, he said, it wasn't because I could not breathe or anything like that. It was basically a special ventilator that I was trialing to make sure there were no longer lasting effects that Cobra would have on me. I have been fine. I have been able to run. I've been able to do everything. I've been absolutely fine, he said. I've been saying since I very first heard about those machines that was the weapon used, okay? I watched this one guy on CNN give his story about what happened to him when he had the Cobra, right? And he honestly, I think he couldn't even see what happened. He was being honest in what he thought happened, but if you were someone who can think for yourself and you heard what he said, you would have thought the same thing that I did. He said that when he went to the hospital to get checked or to go in because he had a positive test, but he was fine, the doctor come in and told him if they didn't put him on it right now on that ventilator, that he had like a 90% chance of dying. And he just took their word. They put it on him. He survived, but it about killed him. And you know what he blamed his near-death experience on? The Cobra. And remember when we kept seeing all those ventilators like out on beaches and stuff? You ever wonder why? At the time when we were asking, the government was asking for more of them, they were finding tons of them out at the dump and all kinds of places. You ever wonder why that was? Well, I guarantee you, I cannot say for sure, but I would bet that those got placed there by the real heroes, the real brave people, men and women of this world who will never know who they were, but they took it upon themselves to take those machines out and dump them before the hospital could use them to slay a whole lot of people. What you see on the image of the beast, these screens, is what they want you to see, okay? This article right here tells us that in Western Australia, where they claimed that 2,600 people had died throughout the pandemic, they actually come to find out there were only 11 people, which 2,600, you know, it isn't a whole lot of people, I wouldn't think, you know, but you remember all those nights that you seen on the news where they had the numbers of the deaths and the ticker, you know, their little fear factory they made to scare the crap out of people. Okay, I'm gonna lay out the reason for the video, and it is the key for your victory if you want to overcome this world and death. Do you think that everyone is just retarded, and the fact that the Cobra Vampire 19 is just gone now, and they're gonna just, no more mask mandates, no more none of that. Now it's time to watch the Ukraine and Russia war, you know. And a week or two ago, it was all about the Cobra. And if you go through the headlines, the Cobra is gone. It's nowhere to be found, basically. Do you think that everyone's just retarded and they're just not noticing that because Russia invaded Ukraine, Cobra decided to disappear? They don't believe that. You want to know what the root cause for them to be silent about that? It is the root to all evil, just like the scripture has told us. If they didn't have the lust of money and their reputation and social status, they would speak out. But because they cannot, they are unwilling to speak truth or even acknowledge it out of fears of what might happen to them in society. They don't want to get fired. They don't want to be labeled. They like their life and their job and their house and all that stuff, and they don't want to lose it. They do not deny themselves. And this is the entire world, basically. If you still are on the fence about the image of the beast being these screens, If you're unwilling to even consider it, you're being prideful, for one, and you're marching to destruction. So, for one, we have to understand that the screens are used to direct the minds of the people. They're used to push their agenda and use their lies. But what we need to understand is the truth is right in our faces every time. What was the objective for those 2 years we spent in the pandemic? Well, what happened? They pushed their vaccines. They got 80% of the population, which they told us in the beginning was their goal. Now that they reached that, it's over. So that was what happened. They wanted to get that into people. That was their objective. The truth is right there. There should be no more mystery about any of it. Why are they showing us this war over there? There's a reason for that too. And on the next video, I'm going to come back and we'll talk about that as well. But for now, D's out. Peace out. Shalom.